So first thing, if I'm executing a program, it's based on single thread. So before starting the thread, you need to understand that we have single tasking and multitasking. So what is single tasking? One task at a time. After completing the one task, then only the CPU will take another task. Like in the first generation computers, we used to have single tasking. What is multitasking? Simultaneous execution of a task is multitasking. For example, multitasking can be achieved using two things. One is multiprocessing and the other thing is multi-threading. So here, what do you mean by multiprocessing? Consider an example that I'm giving a training in a company, and after that I have another session in another company. So there are two processes, right? Process 1 and process 2. Okay. So each process for a separate thing. Process 1, process 2. See here, what's happening? Even though if I want to jump from one process to another process, it takes time, right? So consider in a same company, I have two sessions at a time. Like one session is regarding Java, one session is regarding Python. So what I'll do, first half an hour, I'll take Java session, give them the task, and at that moment I'll be idle. So I'll go to the Python session. For half an hour, I'll give them the session, and after that, give the task and come back to the Java people. So what I'm trying to do, I'm telling multiple classes, but not at a time. I can't do it at a time. At a time, I can take only one class, but simultaneously, I'm taking multiple classes. In an hour, I'm taking two sessions. So that is threading. Threading means in a single process, having multiple memories, like reusing the same memory. So T1 to T2 will be easy compared with process 1 to process 2. Right? Means jumping from one process to another process is difficult, whereas jumping from one thread to another thread is easy. So that is simultaneous executing of task. One is processing and one is multi-threading. So which is better? Which takes less time? Multi-threading.
Threading, yeah.
And which is faster? Multi-threading, right? So multi has several advantages, like memory reusability is there also inside the multi-threading. For every process, separate memories are allocated. Whereas for the threads, the same memory is being reused. Okay. So is this concept clear? What is processing and what is multi-threading?
Yeah, clear.
So if you consider the programs, for every program separate memory is allocated, that is multiprocessing. In a single program, I'm allocating separate memory. That is multi-threading. Like I'll show you. Till now it's single thread, right? What happens is that in RAM, we'll have a particular memory where the instructions will be getting executed one after the other. Like if I have a method calls,
Can you say inheritance is a multi-thread or is it different?
inheritance in the sense we are reusing that class object into the thing, but you can't say inheritance as multi-threading. Multi-threading is entirely different.
Okay.
In which scenarios multi-threading is used? Multi-threading is used in animations, games. So in these sectors, multi-threading is used. If there is a memory in which what happens if I write sum is will get executed, then division, then multiplication, like subtraction. If I'm doing the arithmetic operations in a particular functions, one after the other, the functions will get executed, right?
Yes.
Because this is single thread. Suppose if I am creating another memory and that is another thread, and that thread I'm trying to reuse, like use that particular logic. Say consider I have this sum. The sum is getting executed here. So what will happen when the CPU is reading the input and when it's calculating, it's idle. It will jump to the division. It will do that reading there. And when in division it's calculating, it's jump to the sum. So it will execute simultaneously. So single thread, what's the output? Multiple threads, what's the output? I'll show you. It's just that simultaneous execution of a particular task is nothing but multiple threads. To achieve this, we have a particular threading module and we can import star. Star in the sense all the modules can be imported. Okay. In the threading module, I have a particular class known as thread, which takes the class or method, you can say method or function, not class, method or function as parameter. And after taking that method or function as parameter, you need to call a particular start. So what is it? Start as a particular.
So T is an object here for thread and start is the input method.
No, start is a method, predefined method. We are not writing any start method.
Oh, okay.
Consider display is a method.
Okay.
So display is a method, we can say, or the function we can say, and T is the object. And what we are calling here? Start, right?
Start the thread. Okay. Start the process.
Right. So this start will have a particular thing known as run. What is it we have? Run. So this run is nothing but if I'm directly writing that logic inside the run instead of display, start will call the run internally. What is the functionality of start? Allocate memory and call run. So in your particular blocks, if you want to have run, you can have run. You can define a particular run. And that run consists of the logic which you want to execute. This is one way.
Okay.
or you can pass that function name to the like thread, and then call the start. Okay. Once I give the example, it will be clear actually. Let's do that thing. I'll give an example. So first thing, from threading, import star. Let's do one thing. I'll write without the threads first. What's happening we'll see. Like def display, I'm displaying a particular normal function, you can say, without any class. So for I in range 1 comma 11, what it does, it prints the value, right? So it's printing the value. Okay. And without that function, I'll write for x equals x in range 1 comma 11, print x equals to x. So what will be the output here? 1 to 10 for I, 1 to 10 for x,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's a simple thing.
Yes.
So what I have here, py space thread dot py. Yeah, I need to call the display, right?
Yeah. That's correct.
So 1 to 10 is I, x to 10 is 1 to 10, right? X is also 1 to 10, right? But if I see this threading now, first I is 1 or x is 1, I is 2, x is 3, I is 3, x is 4, I is 4. Simultaneously it will execute. Means instead of executing one task at a bunch, it will execute simultaneously. Let's show you. Like here, what I want to do is I have a from threading module, import that star. The display function is the right. I'll pass as a parameter to the thread, because in the thread we have a particular the target is display, and in that I'll call it as start. So now we'll check the output now. Run this thing. So I is 1, x is 1, I is 2, x is 2, I is 3, x is 3, I is 4, x is 4, I is 5. Like simultaneously it's executing, right?
Yeah.
If I increase the range, then also it's executing simultaneously, right?
But it should restrict I value, right? Why it is not?
Come again.
Okay. I is, oh, you increase the both. That I is 10 and X is 21.
Yeah, both are 21 actually. See,
If I is 10, then what will happen? So it will be up to 10. After that, it will continuously
It will
print the
continue,
X.
I think. Yeah.
that's it, right?
Okay.
After 10 it will simultaneously print it, and after that it will continuously print it, right?
Okay.
Yes.
See, what was the scenario first? What was the scenario next? Like without threading, what happened is that first display got executed, right? And you can say display. So what I've created a memory. When I call the start, it allocates a memory. And as I didn't return the run, it's executing the display. Because I've given the target as display, try to run the display in the memory. See, what we are doing is, by using this start, we are creating a separate memory. In that memory, which function should get executed. That we are specifying using the target equals to display. Here if I
Target is a keyword or is a variable?
keyword.
Or target is a keyword.
So is that mandatory for every time target only? For the keyword?
Yes, it's same. Keyword means is the same thing, right?
Okay.
Target. This is one way of creating a thread.
Okay.
Like what I've done in the display, take the display and run it inside the memory. Simultaneously, it's getting executed, right?
So target is it's a thread can be called with the target and start without using run also, or next time is with using run also you can have another way of method of.
Yes, another method also. Now we'll see one thing. I'll change this to run now. So run is a part of threading only, and internally that start calls run. So I'm calling this start, not the run. Yet I'll get this multi-threading.
It's not coming.
No, it's give only one.
Yeah, it's getting X. I didn't give self, I guess. I didn't use the class itself, right? I can use a class actually, like my thread, which extends the thread class. Because this run is inside the thread class, right? So it should know that we are running that run method of thread class. That's the reason I'm extending it. Like it's a super class and it's a subclass. Okay.
So here, okay, here run is the key function. So inside the run, I can have any set of instruction. But run is the keyword here. If I use the thread as a
Run is a predefined method.
predefined method as like start.
Yes, and I can create my thread object, right? Because my thread object, if I create, it allocates the memory for thread also, and the thread class start I can call so that it will understand that my thread run is getting executed. I'll change it to 11. Again, simultaneously it's executing, right?
Yes.
So this is another way. Like if you're writing run, you need to have a class, and that class is nothing but which is a subclass of thread, right? Suppose if I call this run itself, now I'm calling the run itself and executing it. What's happening? 1 to 10 it's printing, and after that x is also 1 to 10 it's printing, right? Is it multi-threading?
No, it's a.
So who allocates the memory? Start. Who creates a thread, a separate memory? Start. Start allocates the memory and calls the run method. Is that thing clear? If I call directly the run, it won't be multi-threading. It's just normal single thread only. You have understood the output, right? Is it clear?
Clear.
Right. Vijay, any doubts?
Yeah, it's great. It's fine. Yeah. So actually, yeah, the way we are using thread, right, that we cannot do.
In daily applications, we don't do it actually. In gamings or animations only we use it. Like if you open your task manager also, the process. observe the process here, it's simultaneously giving some process, right? So if I'm speaking in Zoom, it's giving some process to the Zoom. Let's do one thing. I open the browser. So what's happened, like you can see Google Chrome, it's applying 24%, 33% to open it, right? Once it's opening, once it has opened, now it's coming to 0, right? So how much it will apply, we can't say. Like CPU will allocate its own process time based on that requirement, and these are done using the algorithms. The OS algorithms will be there, right?
Yeah.
So that algorithms we use, like you can say, threading in Python use which algorithm? Just for every language there will be an algorithm actually. Okay, so I'll just check it and let you know in Python what is the algorithm we have. So it's just that simultaneously to execute the task we have this multi-threading, right? And
Rohit, I have no idea about Java, but I know the concept in multi-threading is there in Java. So it's a similar way in Python also, right?
yes, entirely similar. So the same thing done in Java also, t.start run, the same thing we call thread class will be there. But writing that way is different, that's it.
I mean, actually, I studied in college, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to say sleep also, some thread.
Yes, I'll show you the sleep also.
So it's entirely similar to.
Yes. It's just the way of writing is different, that's it. See, most of the programming language syntax will be same. Like if, while if you say, in any language, these are same, right?
Yes.
Next, after this. So here, whenever I need to have a thread, I can do it in two ways. First is directly writing a function, passing that function as a target to the thread, and calling that particular start without class. Second thing, we can write a class. Inside the class, we can override a run, and that run method
Can start.
can start. Right?
Yeah, start is a must.
Yes. Without start, either with class or without class, you can't do anything. And next, after this, if I want to run a particular class is there without extending the thread. Suppose the third way we can see, like if I don't want to have a class which has a superclass as thread, how to write it then? How will you write it? Like say, for example, I'll just remove it. I'm not saying it as a particular thread. Now, my thread object is there. Then how come I can call the start method? Is that my thread has a start method? No, right?
No.
Class has a start method.
Target.
Target, thread class, right?
Yeah, thread. Okay.
The start method is present inside the thread class. Now what I have to do, I need to tell the thread class like t equals to thread if I say, and call the start. Is it fine? Will it understand that you need to execute the start or like run of my thread? It can't understand, right?
Yes.
Because I might have multiple classes. Like consider I have my thread, I can have another thing, demo. So there are two things. How come the start will understand that it has to execute the my thread run or demo? What we can do is create the object for the class and then pass it as a target. So what is the target? The target is nothing but m.run. In that target, I'm passing the object. In that, try to run this thing. That I'm saying, save this thing. So I'll just remove this demo. Let's run this. Again, I got the simultaneous execution, right?
Yes.
This is without having superclass as a thread.
So actually, I got confused. What is the difference between this one and you have given the first example?
When I have thread here,
Okay.
you don't have to create object for the thread. Subclass object can call superclass method start.
Okay. Now, previous example, before class, without class we implemented, right? For the first example.
Function you are saying. So def display.
Yeah.
And if you want to call this as a particular thing, you need to have t.thread. You need to pass the target in the target display.
Target name, okay.
Just the function name, right? You are saying the function name directly. But
both
here,
are same. Object with function name. Okay. Both are same. If you have multiple classes, we need to have that object dot function name. Here both
correct.
are the same way. Okay, that's what I got.
Because here it's without class, so only the function name is fine.
Yes,
Like display is there, you just execute the display and in the separate memory.
Okay.
Like I am creating a separate memory, allocating some separate memory using the start, right? So that separate memory, in that it's asking which particular block you want to execute. So that is nothing but display, I can say. Or without display, you can say it as whatever the class run is there. That class run you can say. Suppose if I remove this run, I just keep it as m as an object.
It will run. No?
So what's it saying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it ran. Then it's saying exception in thread that object is not callable, right? So here you need to call that run by using that object. Without that, it's not giving it, right? Understood. Next, I'll remove the target itself as a parameter and keyword. So directly it's saying what? Group argument must be none for now. So if you're not giving anything, it won't accept. The target is required. Target equals to m.run, then only it will specify that particular target. So these are the three different ways we can say. Two without extends and with one with the extends, like superclass we can say, right?
Without using this thread, we cannot produce the similar output, right? Or we can do
Yes.
one after one. That we cannot
Simultaneous execution, simultaneously executing the threads, which is not possible without using the thread. Now, till now it's clear. Any doubts?
So if I have one more execution also, it will go. If this is example of two execution, suppose you're going to have X, Y, Z, possible that also it will.
Yes, it will execute. You need to create separate thread and pass that t.run and run it.
So here is one is thread, another one is not a thread, right? So if I am going to have one,
we can use. See, one is thread, another is not thread. It's not that way. Here already one memory will be there. In that memory, one is executing.
Okay.
And I'm having that another memory and calling it right. Previously it was single thread, now I'm having multiple threads. To execute, we need a memory or not?
Yes.
That's a thread, but only single thread you can say. And to have separate memory and in that you want to execute simultaneously, that's a multi-thread.
Okay.
That we are trying to achieve, right? Still any confusion, any doubts you can ask. Is it clear? Shall I continue?
Yes.
Yeah, continue.
Let's clear your confusion. What I'll do, I'll print the current thread. Which thread is working currently? I'll print it. Import star.
From threading or from thread? Threading.
Threading is a module name actually. Current thread, there is a function by using which I can call a get name. So get name in the sense it will get the name of that particular thing. Okay. So here, if suppose I need to set a name, how to set the name? First execute this current thread. So it's a main thread, right?
It's a default one.
Yes. So there is a thread, right?
Yes.
And suppose if I'm writing a class my thread which has thread def, I can give start or display, right? So display will have self, or you can say run. Print again the same thing I'm trying to print it. So in that what thread is executed actually. Okay. So m equals to my thread, right?
Yeah. M dot.
So T equal to thread of.
M dot start.
Okay.
See, when I don't have this superclass, then you need to have target equals to
Okay.
the thing. When I have this thread, it's not required.
Okay.
I'll do one thing. I'll show it separately. I'll write it. It will be clear. Side by side, if it's there, it's clear actually. Def display, I'll say it's a normal function. Print. We can have this current thread name, right? And t equals to thread of target equals to display t dot start. This is one way. Other way is what? This is the other way. From threading import, that class has a super class, and if I call that start, it's sufficient. And the other way is what? If I don't have this thing, that super class, then I have to create a particular object known as thread, pass the target equals to m dot run, and then call t dot start. Correct?
Yes.
This is without class, only a function. This is with a class which has a superclass as thread. This is a class which doesn't has that thread as superclass.
It's pretty much clear. Yeah.
Now is it clear?
Yeah, I got it. Seems to be same. Now only I see the difference.
Yeah, mostly it's similar, but small changes will be there. This is without class, I can say, and this is
With the superclass, with the class and superclass.
thread as superclass. With class. So without class, with class, and with thread as superclass, right? Three different ways we can see. Okay. Next thing. Let's print this. I was in the middle, right? I'm starting that start. Now what will be the output? Let's print it. Thread 1, right? Which is thread 1? So there's a separate name, right? Like separate memory.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is what? Main thread. So two different memories are there or not? And we can change the name also. How to change the name? We have a particular thing known as current thread. Directly we can call a set name. Get name is there, means set name is also there. Like what is that name you want me to give? Marvel. So the Marvel is the thread name. Okay. And I want to get that name again. So what I can do, get name. So instead of main thread, I'm naming it as main Marvel, right? So what I can do, I can have a particular set name and set the particular name for a thread also, right?
There's a 3-thread thing. Main thread also there. This one is a separate thread.
Here, without that changing, I have printed. Then I
Okay.
have changed, then I have printed to show you the difference. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do one thing. M dot set name if I'm calling, and what I say Avengers. Let's see what happens. So M dot set name before start I have called, right? Before start if I call. Now it's Avengers, right?
Okay.
The thread name is changing. So main thread is Marvel and Avengers is a thing, child thread, right? So when I say start, it's executing this one first, setting it, and then it's coming to this, right? So this is clear, right? We can set a particular name for a thread and we can know what thread is getting executed directly, right? And we can use a sleep also. Why? To sleep for those seconds. Like we'll check it out now. I'll just remove these things, and here instead of that use this particular for loop for I in range 1 comma 11, print I equals to I, right? Let's do one thing. I'll create one more x equals to my thread x dot start. what's happening here? It's printing the particular threads. First 1, then 2, 1, 3, 2, 4, 3. So it's mixing up the things, right? Main thread and the child thread. If you want to give some delay, let's try out import. We have to have a module like time, and the time consists of a sleep method. So what I'll do, t dot sleep I'll call, and for how many seconds? Like 2 I'll keep. Sorry, it's not t actually, time, right? What it's doing now, it's given a delay and printed it, right? So in the delay, the first one got executed and the next one. Now what I'll do, time dot sleep, let's try to keep it here. Let's keep 2 and then we'll change it to 1. It's taking some time. Then it's printing. Then it's printing. So there's a difference, right? If you see the above output, it had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then printed that 1 between that. Now it's executing correctly simultaneously, right? 2 threads by using that time dot sleep. I can give 1. 1 means 1 second. 2 means 2 seconds. 5 means 5 seconds. Okay. Understood. So any doubts in this sleep? Sleep means what? It will sleep for that particular time, then simultaneously it will execute the threads. Any doubts till now? So it's a new thing, right? Till now what you have done is different and what we are using threads is different entirely. So I've just created a thread, I've named it, and I can have this sleep to check that particular simultaneous execution.
So
So
the model, right? Sometimes we are using from threading import directly import. So we have 2 types of that.
yeah, like if I import time, I need to use that thing, right?
No. In the first line, we are using from threading import everything, right? So like that, time is from where? From where we are importing time?
See, time is itself a module. I'm just trying to import that module. Import math. From math, import this particular thing I've said, right?
From time
Okay,
date,
that's it.
import time, or just to import time? It's from time date.
From time, we can import something from time, so similar to that.
Yes, like if you see the time module, it will be different.
Okay.
Time module in Python.
So it's all predefined.
Yes, predefined things. So version Python time module, what we have inside time, how to access those things. Import time seconds are there. So if you have any submodule inside that, we can do it because it's a vast thing, right?
Okay.
Every time it's import time itself, import time. So mostly what they have done, they have just used this time as import time itself. Like if I write from time, what is that things? I don't have anything, right?
From time, import time.
There is no particular thing as function module. Like I'll do one thing, strip time, right? From time, strip time, then I can call this particular strip time, right? What's it saying? Name time is not defined. So it's executing, right? So from time, what you can import the particular functions. At the time of modules, I've said the same thing, right? In a module, there will be functions. If you want to import that functions, from time import, then I don't have to use this time dot function name. Directly I can call the function, right? From time if I'm importing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if the module itself, you want entire module, what I can do, import time. Because all the functions I'm able to access now. But if I write from time import strp time, what will happen? Only this function is available. If I use another function, like what is that, strf, right? It gives error, right? If I use this module function. strf time is not defined. So from the module, you're not importing it. You need to import it, right?
Okay.
So the import was there in different ways. Okay. So modules like math are also there. So from math, like import math, we can say all the functions are available. Or what we can say, from math, import sqrt. So only sqrt is available, right?
So we will say we are using from threading import something, import star, right? So same way we can say import threading.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I got confused. You can say import threading, right? Simply everything.
But again, for every function, threading dot.
Okay.
It's up to us. Like threading dot, in the sense, it's getting difficult to write every time, right?
Okay.
At the time, just once time I'm using time dot sleep, or else from time import sleep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I
I
got it.
do things today now then. Okay. I'll stop here. Tomorrow you'll see that remaining part of threading. So I hope you understood this thread, right? Because it's a little confusing part.
I have to do the work, then only mean. Some cases, then only we'll understand. Now it seems to
Once
be
we
there.
do the
We need to.
practice.
Yeah. So next, once we complete threading tomorrow, we'll see the files concept also, and the date modules, the different modules will be there, right? All those things we'll see. Okay.
But in general, we are not using this thread, right, in programming. So it's a concept.
Internally, it will be used.
Okay.
If you do any development anywhere, without threading, there is no particular software application. Internally, concept will be used, but the programmers use it for gaming and animation part itself.
Normal applications like we will not use this thread.
Yeah, normal applications we don't use it because you won't want to have different things, right?
This is so far what I've had in my experience, right? So, which I come across where Python is used, right? They are using it in some big data programming and file processing. Mostly it's in the file processing.
File processing, or you can say data processing.
Yeah,
Getting
data processing.
Data
Yeah.
and doing some task on it. So
Yes.
Hadoop, big data, or you can say data science, machine learning, AI. The Python can be used with anything. That's the advantage we had. If you want Python HTML, you can add Python in HTML. If you want Android to be done using the Python, you can do it Android with the Python coding.
So
Machine learning,
in database also, Python can connect with any database.
correct.
Okay.
We'll see with the database also, MySQL database.
Yeah.
So MySQL commands, just will brush up the things once and we'll go through. Okay.
Okay, Rahul.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it for today. We'll meet tomorrow then.